Alright, welcome back. I've got this month's review. I know it's going to be a day or two late, maybe 3, because of the 4th of July weekend, you know. Had all kinds of stuff to do and still to do, so it's kind of, been a pain to get this done. But, I had actually planned on having another company's review out this week for this month on the 1st, but I saw this bad boy on Goldhog. It's their newest thing. It's paydirt.com. And I had to get it and review it. I said, all the other ones can wait. They've been there for a while. I'm a huge fan of Doc. I love listening to him over on Gold Prospector Radio when he's on there. So I had to try this. As you know, if you see my website, the Mystery Cons were my #1 bag. I loved them. Not only just because they had a great return on investment, but I loved the Paydirt. I was a huge fan of it. I love challenging stuff, so I like the stuff that'll make me work for a long time. Not every bag. I do like some of the ones that are easy every once in a while too, but they usually have some really tough stuff to do. So, and also my son loves gems, so when Doc said in the video that there's gems, that was his ticket. He said, "Get this, Dad." So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna review it. It is a big, hefty bag. I weighed it out. I believe it was 3 pounds, 14 ounces. It'll be on the website though. goldpaydirtreviews.com. I'll have the weight of it and some pictures of me weighing it. I just forgot to bring my scale out here. I just did a brand new setup in my shed to try and do better quality videos. But unfortunately, my wife had thrown a fit because she found out I was using my iPhone to shoot these, and it's sitting over a tub of water usually. So she went out and bought me a GoPro, and I redid my whole shed to have a setup for a GoPro. Unfortunately, it's been sitting there for 2 months while I rebuilt my shed. And unfortunately, I go to plug it in yesterday, and it's a broken-in box GoPro. So I had to send it back, and it's going to take me a while to get a new one. So back to the iPhone, which I didn't have it set up for, so it's kind of in a jury-rigged spot, and, but it'll work. So, just excuse me if the video is not perfect this month. They get better every time, I'm hoping. Okay, so now back to the Goldhog. This is from paydirt.com. I don't believe you can actually buy it from the website. They'll still send you back to Goldhog to buy it. They have videos and more information about it. It's a blend of different things, but I do have a couple problems with it. When you watch the video, 2 big points that Doc makes is not to be worried about return on investment. Well, that to me is, if you want raw Paydirt unsearched, just say it's unsearched. It might not have any gold in it. And I would be fine with that as long as you tell me that and the price is worth it. This was $39 plus $12 shipping. Now, for that price, for 50 bucks, I probably want a little bit of gold in it. So, but, I've gotten some bags from other people where you're buying, 20 pounds for 40 or 50 bucks. It's unsearched. And that's kind of worth it because you're going to spend a good 2 days or a nice big piece of equipment. If you've got, a setup somewhere and you're just pouring dirt in, then those are good. But for this price, for this 4-pound bag, it should have gold in it. So to say, not to worry about return on investment is, and then plus when he talks about it, they put in concentrate so they know there's gold in it. Well, then you are worried. You are worried that you don't want a customer getting no gold. So, but that's a little thing. I mean, I understand what they're trying to say is not to expect to get, $50 worth of gold out of it. And I never do. I don't expect to get my money back. I just want to see gold. So I think he needs to rephrase the way they say that. But my big problem with this is its name and what they point out saying. He keeps saying this is raw Paydirt, paydirt.com. And they even have a thing in there, what is raw Paydirt? And they tell you how raw Paydirt is unsearched Paydirt. Then they tell you about this much of it is concentrates. Concentrates are not unsearched. You have unsearched Paydirt with searched Paydirt, and you're mixing them together. Just say that. So I've got, it's nitpicking. And then, Doc even goes on to say with the gems how they make sure they put one large, nice sized gem in there for you. It's not going to be, a diamond. But, it's something so you can find it so you don't miss it. And that makes it searched again because you're putting that in there. So, it's just nitpicking on words. And, I'm sure Doc will be rolling his eyes if he ever sees this because I'm nitpicking something so silly as that. But it is what it is. So I'm going to go get a big bucket of water, and I'm going to see, and in the video they show you this stuff turn the water black. So where I live, like I said before, water is expensive, so this is probably going to cost me a lot of money to pan out. But I'm going to go get my stuff set up, and we'll be back with part 2. And there's like there's a flake there, but you know, that might just be the camera. So I'm going to go get my stuff, and we will be back, and let's check this all out together. Alright, we're back. I realized after I shot the last video that I had the bag facing towards me and not y'all, but yeah. If you didn't know what it was from me mentioning it a dozen times, Goldhogs, it's their newest thing. It's their Paydirt.com. You can get it at either one, Paydirt.com or goldhog.com. So we're going to get ready to go through this bad boy and thick bag. I love these. If you remember my review of their mystery cons, the one thing I didn't like was their coffee bags. You know, those little thick mylar bags with the really hard corners. You know, they were corners that were hard to get into. I'll rinse this out before I finish up today, but that'll be there. You know, see some nice rocks in here. You know, I don't want to there's too much, but alright, we'll put this to the side. Got my water ready, bam. And we will start start straightening some of this out, and let's see what this water turns into. Let's see some twigs and stuff. Always a good sign. It's definitely some dirty stuff. So I can see I'll be changing out my water a lot. Thanks, Doc. I'm going to screen this all down to a finer mesh in a few minutes. That is some really thick stuff. You know, as he said, you know, right off the bat you can see, you know, it's got some gemstones in it. I'm not a big gemstone person. My kids are all into the shiny stuff, so you know, big pickers, things like that, which, you know, I see none, but we'll pan all that down and try and get all these out, you know. One thing is, I'm going to be, once I'm finished with this review, I'm going to be putting all this dirt right back into the bag, essentially, because I've got a new piece of equipment that's coming in this week that I'm going to review on the 15th. And again, I had something else I planned on reviewing, another piece of equipment, but I actually plan on doing a Miller table review. But this piece is something else that I've been wanting to look into for a long time and just hadn't had the opportunity to, and the opportunity arose and I got one coming in, so I figure I'll do that, and there's a better way to test it than with some Goldhog Paydirt, you know, so I'm not going to show y'all too much of this, I mean, because no one just wants to see me clean rocks, but maybe, we'll see. Let's see how quick I can do it. Boy, that is something. You can just see, that is like mud. Dump some of this out, make sure I don't overfill my pan too much. I do have some Martin Prospect and Gold Getter juice in this water, so just to make sure I don't get any floaters. This is definitely, I mean, even on the website, Doc, make sure it tells you, you know, pan and repan, and how fine this stuff is. So I might actually use this as all my reviews for equipment. You know, like I said, I am going to be doing a Miller table on one of my reviews, so I'll probably just save this. I'll just keep probably putting it up, put it in its own little
gallon bucket or something. It's supposed to be a gallon of Paydirt or right around there. And it looked right around there. Again, 3 pounds, 14 ounces, something like that. On my website, goldhog.com, you'll see all the actual numbers. You know, nice, cool looking rocks. I mean, my kids are gonna love this. So, you got all of this stuff. I will be getting, so I'll probably just keep reusing this stuff and never pull the gold out of it, and just keep using it in equipment, since, you know, if I pull out, say, 1/4 of a gram, and then I run it through this machine and it pulls out, you know, 1/4 of a gram, then we know it's as good as me. If it pulls out, you know, 1/8 of a gram, it's not as good. Yeah, this is a really nice, beauty stone. I wish I was into rock. I'm just not a rock person. Well, I'm a gold person, so. But, you know, so I'll probably just keep using this, you know, on my Miller table and all the other ones. You know, of course, for the Miller table, I'll have to pull all these rocks out, you know. So, you know, it is some, Doc is right. I mean, they show you in the video of him putting some of this, panning some of this into a mini swimming pool. You know, those little kiddie pools. It turns it black, and it does. This is some, you know, I'm not panning it yet. This is just to get rocks. I don't mind it being really, really dirty. But again, they have some, you know, really nice. You know, my kids are gonna love this. You know, I have to probably this week do a couple of reviews and have them on holding until I'm ready to post them, just so my kids can nail into this. You know, once I pull, you know, gold out, or I might have to buy another bag. Thanks, Doc, just so I have a bag to keep reviewing and a bag for the kids. Because when my son saw the video, he was watching it with me, and every time Doc said gems, that got my son. You know, he's a big Minecraft guy, so you know, gold isn't that great in Minecraft, but all these gems are. I don't think he'll find any diamonds in there, but you know, I haven't seen any pickers or anything like that. But you know, I will definitely pan all these rocks. I mean, even when the rocks are clean, they're still not really, really clean. So I will definitely have to pan these really closely because they are so dirty. So you can see I still have a good little bit left. Still some nice rocks. So I'll be back with some pans to show you what I've accomplished, what I've gotten. These are my rock piles so far. I'll take out some of the twigs because no piece of equipment is good for catching twigs. You know, like I said, there's some pretty stones in here. So, you know, this is a great one for if you have kids that like pretty little gems and stuff like that. You know, I'm all about the gold, so we'll see. Alright, I'll be back in a few minutes with some things and we'll start panning. And we'll start getting to it. Alright, we're back with a gold hog. I've separated everything down into 3 piles. Big rocks, small rocks, and the fine stuff. I did pan all this out and nothing. I didn't get, you know, but these are all pretty big rocks, so I didn't really expect to find any big pickers or anything in here. There are some nice gemstones. I'm not a big gemstone person, so, you know, if you're into gemstones, this is probably cool to you. And I'd be like, oh, wow, look, you found that. Me, I couldn't tell you the difference between this and this, except for one's, I guess, prettier than the other one. My wife is all into that. Like I said, the other part of the review, I'm going to be testing out a piece of equipment. So all this stuff, once I'm done with it, is going to go right back into a 5-gallon bucket. Then I'm going to test it with a piece of equipment to see how much different my totals are to their totals. You know, hopefully it'll be better than my total. If I come up with a 1/4 gram, I'm hoping it better be close to a 1/4 gram. If it comes up with more, that's great. I'm not going to do a second pass on all this stuff unless I miss something. Usually I'll pan everything, you know, I'll pan usually the rocks twice, and I'll pan this 3 times, and I'll pan this 3 times, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. But in this case, I'm probably just going to do a quick pass over everything this time, and then get my total. And then what I'll do is I'm going to test a piece of equipment, which will be probably in 2 or 3 days after this video. So it'll be a much sooner than the 15th. Since this one's being late, I'm going to put out another one early. And then on the 15th, I will have another review. It will either be gold or another piece of equipment. I have a new camera coming in because my GoPro broke a while back, and I've been using my iPhone. And my wife is not happy about that. So I found a replacement camera, much cheaper than the GoPro. So I'm really curious to see how it's going to work, and I'm going to get a review on it to see how comparable it is to my, at least to my iPhone. You know, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start panning this stuff down to show you what we can get out of it. I already started. I had taken 2 tablespoons out just to see, you know, curiosity got the best in me, so I wanted to see just how muddy this would be. Because if you remember from the last part of the review, when I was doing the rocks, it just turned this water solid black. And it's still dirtying up the water, typical of usually like river mud, you know, it'll dirty it up, but it's not as bad. You can still, when you put your pan in, you can still see the edge of your pan, which is what you want. You know, it's really hard to pan when you can't see what you're moving. So this isn't too bad. If it stays like this, I'm fine. When I start running this material though, I've got a suspicion it's gonna darken the water up a whole bunch again. So, but we will see. I'm going to pan this just for a minute to show you if there's anything in there. This is 2 tablespoons. And you know, there's a good couple tablespoons in there, you know. I'll get a nice little bit out of here. So we'll just see. As you know, when Dot's advertising this, he makes it sound like you're going to be getting nothing but super fine flour gold. And you know, that's not a panner's dream, you know. We want the nuggets, we want the stuff we can see. You know, to me, gold's gold, whatever I find is fun. You know, I know this is going to be some challenging dirt, so it's one of the reasons why this video is going to be late. You know, I actually did the previous part of the video yesterday, and I'm on the next day now, today 4th of July, just because it has been pouring down rain here. I spent, like I said, some time trying to dry that stuff out to see if it would dry up. So I'm hoping it won't be as dirty, but we'll see. But you know, there's some gold in here. So these are from rocks. You can see I just switched it over when I was turning the pan, but you can see, you know, there's some stuff here. You know, I'll get you up nice and close, but there's some gold in this, which is good. You know, I was really worried that it was just all gonna be, like I said, flour. But you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause this here. When I come back, I'm gonna show you what I got out of this, and then we'll start panning that nightmare, and I'll show you at the end how much I got out of that. And again, I don't put the totals on here because I'm trying to get people to go to my website so then you can see my other reviews, because a lot of them don't have YouTube videos on them. The majority of them don't. So I will be going back over all of them eventually. You know, got tired of eBay sellers, so what I'm going to be doing over the next couple months is just re-reviewing a lot of the sellers I already did, like, you know, Gold Hog, Dirt Hog, all these other 3-horse Paydirt, Jimbo's Gold. Anyone that I have a review for that might not have a video will be getting a video. We'll buy new stuff from them and put it in, and in between I'll mix in some other ones that I've gotten over the last couple months. You know, I've got a nice stockpile going, a lot of eBay stuff. I think I have some 3-horse Paydirt sitting waiting. So, you know, there'll be some of these people that, you know, 3-horse, I have a couple of his reviews. I have them underneath his eBay account. So, he's the guy that sent me the weird email. You know, the really long, nasty email. So, but, you know, I like his stuff. So, you know, I don't care. You can say what you want about how I pan, what I pan, you know, all this stuff. It all comes down to what I find in your bags. So, like I said, we're doing I have a video. This one will probably come out tomorrow, July 5th, so it'll be 5 days late. And then I'll test out the equipment, and it might, I guess it'll come out on the 10th. We'll just say that I'm gonna put that one out on the 10th. Then on the 15th, I will have another review of my camcorder, and then following on the 1st, I have somebody, the person I was supposed to do this month. This month, I really wanted to do somebody else, but when I saw Goldhog had started this, you know, I had to buy this and review it and jump ahead of everyone else just because I love their mystery cons so much. You know, it was taxing. It took a long time for me to pan. I got a great ROI out of it. And like, again, I know Doc's saying that not to expect a high ROI on this, but I always do. You know, it was kind of the same thing. You know, when Doc goes and he goes somewhere and he starts sluicing, he's not saying to himself, well, I hope I don't get anything. Nah, everybody's hoping they're getting something, you know. So, well, we'll see. Like I said, I'm going to pause this now. Don't want to get these videos too long. And then I'll show you a picture, show you what I got out of this, and then we'll start working on this other bad boy. All right, be right back. So we're back. Cleaned it all those little rocks up. I dumped them in my 5-gallon bucket with the other rocks when I'm done. And this is what I'm done with. Let's see. No. So that's the gold. Got from just those rocks. Get off there. You can see it's not sure about the weight or any of that. But there's gold. And there also are, like Doc says in the videos, there's lots of tiny little gemstones. I mean, that's all these are. Little black dots, I mean, all over it. Don't know what kind, none of that, but they do have a lot, so you'll be panning. When you get down to the last stuff, you know, you have a lot of the gemstones just tend to be, you know, up there. So, a piece of gold floating up, trying to get away. Get away. All right, so that's it for the gold for the rocks. 100 mesh rocks. Now we're gonna go. We're gonna start. Show y'all some of the. Change out my water, as you can see. And now we're gonna do this bad boy. Start hitting up that and see how that goes. I'm guessing it's going to turn the water pretty black pretty quickly. Let's start with a small amount at first just to see how this stuff handles. Because when I was screening out those rocks, it was like mud. I mean, it was just sticking and solid. You know, if you hold a pan of dirt, you know, usually it'll come out. I was holding this. I mean, you can pretty much hold it upside down, and it was just not moving. It's turning the water to chocolate milk, so I'll probably have to change this water at least a couple times while I'm doing this. Just to see how it goes. You can see it's got the consistency of chocolate milk and a lot. But we'll see. It doesn't seem to be as bad as the first time I did it. You can still see. Yeah, as the majority of it is sinking, so that's good. But do this one little pan. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll pause it again, and I'll show you what I get out of these. See how much black sand I get comparable. complex things in this scoop. Just don't know what I have to work with. Again, so far I'm thinking this would be some really good dirt to test a machine with. You know, if you got a gold cube or just do a little bitty sluice box in your home sluice. There's probably some really good dirt to test. Well, one thing, I would be really curious seeing somebody run this through a gold cube, because I've heard gold cubes have problems when it comes to flat gold, and I don't know if you can see it in this, but all this gold is very flat. I mean, it's, you know, all like a sheet of gold paper was cut up. You know, it's real thin. I mean, it was hard. You gotta be real careful with it when you're panning it, because it will just float right over everything else really quick. You know, a little bit of color. Like Doc says, I'm guessing this is going to be really fine stuff. You need a whole bunch of it put together to get it to really shine through. But you can see the workings. There's a little bit of gold in this pan. Yeah. What I'm going to have to do is, a lot of times what I'll do is when I get down to something like this where it just starts being, you know you got some gold in there and it's real fine, is what I'll do is I'll dump it into another pan, just this little bit amount, start another 2 tablespoons, until in the end you'll be stuck with, a much more manageable pile. And the gold will tend to cling to itself and make it a little bit easier to get. I'm going to knock out a little bit more of this before I do that. So I think that's what I'll end up with, is right around that. What I'm going to do is just put this all in a bottle. I'll probably just dump it in my pan over there, actually. So, that's what I think I'm going to do. And then I'll get to this. And I'll come back and show you how much I got out of this. And I'll mix it in with my other stuff. So, be right back. Alright. Cleaned it all up. All that massive amount of Paydirt. As you can see, this is the gold just from fine dirt. It's pretty small, pretty pain in the butt to get. I do have some more somewhere. Came from the larger rocks. Or medium-sized rocks, I guess the 100 mesh rocks, but so that's what it looks like we got. I will weigh it all up, see how much it comes to, and put it on the website. What a big old flakes. Hot in there. 100 mesh. 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 100 So, thoughts on the pay dirt. This is probably really good dirt for running through machines because it is really muddy. It'd be a great way to test a sluice box or something like that, a gold cube, to see how it does against some really muddy material. As far as a return on investment type thing, I'm not so sure. I mean, I'll have to wait up and see. You never know. I mean, like I said, I paid $39 for it, I think, and $12 shipping. So something right around there is about $50. So I know that's not a gram, so it's not going to be a new Roy weeder, that's for sure. But it was fun. You know, it wasn't as challenging as I really thought it would be. You know, besides the fact that it's really muddy and it really dirties up your water. I mean, I just spent a lot of time changing out my water, but it wasn't, you know, mystery cons were some of my favorite pay dirt, and that was really challenging stuff. I mean, it took me a long time to pan it all out. This, not so much. There's a lot of rocks. Like Doc says, you can see it, but, you know, like this little black rock, there's tiny, tiny gems that when you're panning, you will see them. It'll look like black sand, but it's really not, as you can tell by the way it rolls and stuff like that. You know, some of them you'll see, you know, the color difference is that it's not really black. Also, not very much was magnetic. In the end, I ended with right around probably a tablespoon and a half were the black sands for the total 4 pounds. And that was my gold content. So there wasn't a ton of gold. There wasn't, you know, I don't know. It was decent. It was fun pay dirt. Would I buy it again? To pan, probably not. To test on equipment, I probably will. But, you know, like I said, this isn't, I know it's advertised as raw pay dirt, but it's really not raw pay dirt. It's searched and unsearched mixed together. So, you know, I don't know why they stopped doing the mystery cons. I like that one, but maybe this is their new thing. And, you know, even with the mystery cons, I knew, you know, it was a shot in the dark. So some guy might buy this and get $50 worth of gold out of it because it is unsearched stuff being mixed with gold. And I'm pretty sure Doc and them aren't just throwing in, you know, stuff that's not, doesn't have a chance to have material in it. So, you know, you could get that bonanza one. You know, it depends on what you're looking for. You know, the gemstones might be worth something. I don't know. I'm not into gemstones. My kids and my wife really are. And my son's begging me today to go look for some gemstone pay dirt so you could get that. So, you know, if you have a family and kids that really like gemstones, this is probably for you. You know, they'll enjoy the top half of the bucket and you'll enjoy the bottom half as, you know, you're sorting them out between your strainers. So, you will use a lot of soap or, as me, go-getter juice, because it, like Doc says, there are a lot of floating, a lot of fine, super fines, and, you know, there's so much shiny stuff in here, mica and who knows what else, that does make it so you want to make sure nothing's floating, you know. But as I said, I'll weigh it up, I'll put it on. Today's the 5th, so it'll be up later tonight with a review. On the 10th, I'll have a review of a new piece of equipment that I'm going to retest this with. So all this gold's going to go right back into a 5-gallon bucket with all the dirt I saved in a special 5-gallon bucket. And I'm going to run it through the machine to see how close it is to this, because this is some, you know, I think this would be some challenging pay dirt for a machine because it's so sticky and muddy. I'd be curious how it, you know, handles. So I'm going to run it through this machine and we'll see what it does. And, you know, probably unfair to them that their first challenge is going to be this, but I'll probably run some, then on the 15th I'll have a review, then following on the 1st. I've got not much planned for this week, so I'm going to try to catch up on a lot of my videos and have them pre-shot so they're ready. Just wants to stay by itself. It's a loner piece of gold. So, again, it's good pay dirt, you know. Another thing, I wish they would ship it a little different because, you know, you're paying $12 for shipping and they're putting it in a large priority mailbox for just $12. So you can actually fit 2 of these bags in there. So maybe they should try shipping them in a bubble mailer, those Tyrex bubble mailers. Maybe some would get damaged, maybe some wouldn't, but it'd cut shipping down to $6. Either that, or if they did Zone A and Zone B, would cut it down to $8. You could only fit one bag in there, but when you're paying for shipping and you end up with a box that's half full, it's kind of, but like Doc says, order 2 bags. So I guess if you order 2, if you're going to run this through a machine, get 2 bags, 4 pounds of it. So, but overall, good stuff. Like Doc's stuff usually, So we'll see how long this will last before he changes to something else. All right, till next time, till the 10th, and you'll re-see this dirt again.